Good morning, um, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok family, whatever platform you may see this on. Just had to come to you this morning with a word of encouragement. I just finished listening to this song by Maverick City Music called Promises, and yeah, it really blessed me. I've heard it times before, but sometimes when God lays a song in your heart, it's for a reason. And yeah, I'm I'm wearing the shades or the well, they're prescription shades because I've been having an issue with my regular glasses. Um, and also, like I said, I was listening to that song prior to making this video. My eyes are a bit red because I was, you know, crying, worshiping. So, but needless to say, I really felt it was important to say what God put on my heart to say after hearing that song and just thinking about current circumstances, thinking about 2024. And the main thing that I want to say, and even if only one person hears this, don't give up on the promise. The song Promises speaks on just how faithful God is. And if we think about faithfulness, we are not faithful enough. We fall short in life. We fall short when it comes to uh, upholding promises to family and friends. We fall short even in our jobs sometimes. We fall short. And the main place that we fall short in, which with the greatest importance, is our faithfulness to God. But the thing that I love about God is that even if we are unfaithful, he remains faithful. And that's one of the main points of the song. How he's an anchor, how he never changes. Even if we mess up, even if we fall short, he continues to provide. He continues to be faithful. He continues to wait till we get it together. And even in the midst of us getting it together, he'll still cover us. So the main point that I want to make is with excuse me, with this new year, I know a lot of people do the New Year's resolutions. I know a lot of people have these goals that they want to meet, that they've set for the new year. And I know some people are so pressed and so stressed because they feel like they should be further along. And I want to say, don't let the enemy press you, stress you, and rush you into something that you're not ready for. Let's think about the fact that when it comes to Job's story, he was the richest man in the world at that time. And in Job's story, what ended up happening, it wasn't even God. It was the devil that came to God and was like, hey, Job is rich and Job has all these things, but I promise you, if you take all that stuff away from Job, he's gonna curse you. He won't even be faithful to you. But God knew that Job was not. God knew that his relationship with Job was based on Job being a good man, Job being a faithful man, but it wasn't based on the material things that Job had. So the key to this all, and this is how we have to look at life, the devil had to come to God to ask permission. Think about that. It wasn't like the devil just went out and did what he wanted to do. No, he had to come to God and say, can I bother Job? And God allowed it. And you know the story. Job lost everything. And then when it came down to it, he still didn't curse God. So the devil's like, okay, I took all this material stuff, so let me see what else I can do. Once again, he had to ask God's permission. He was like, you can touch his body, but not his soul. Because you know the devil's always after somebody's soul. So, but in the end, Job, he cursed the day he was born, but he never cursed God. So, and I say all that to say Job went through all that, but then God turned around and gave him double of what he had before. So I say that about Job, and then I get a little excited thinking about Joseph. Joseph was, which parents should think about this, and parents shouldn't do this, but don't make your kids fight against each other because you favor one over the other. You should give them all the same amount of love and not bring a divide between your kids. But that's a whole nother topic. But I say that to say, even after all Joseph went through, being sold into slavery by his brothers because they were jealous of him, Joseph gets to work for Potiphar and ends up having to run away from Potiphar's wife because she was trying to take advantage of him in an adult way. Joseph gets put in jail. He's in jail for a while. And even in the midst of him being in jail, he's still blessing. He's still helping people. But it took a while for Joseph to finally get to the place where he was promised. Because you remember, Joseph had dreams, and his dreams were pictures of the promise that was to come. But it took some time. And what I'm mainly trying to focus on is the timing. We can't expect things to happen on our time frame. It has to happen on God's time frame. Because when we think about it, if things happen when we wanted it to happen, it's not necessarily that it will work out the way it's supposed to work out. And then also, maybe we're not ready yet. Because think about it. If you were to give a young man or a young woman a very powerful sports car at the age of 18, how long do you think it'll be before they get a ticket or get into an accident? Probably quickly, right? Probably within a month. Probably might be even within the first day they drive it. But I say that to say, you give that same powerful vehicle to someone that's in their 30s or 40s, you probably would never see them get a ticket or never see them get that kind of get in trouble with the law because they're older, they're wiser, they know how to properly handle a very fast and expensive sports car. So I say that to say, don't get discouraged. Don't feel like what God promised you is not going to happen. Continue to stay faithful. Continue to stay in your word. Continue to fast. Continue to pray. Continue to stay connected, because during this time when you don't see the promise, that's when the enemy is going to come and hit you the hardest, because he's going to continue to hit you with, hey, you know, God said he was going to do this for you, but I don't see it happening. You know, God said he was going to do this, but I don't see it. For example, your promise could be that your son or daughter is going to be saved. Your son or daughter could be out there strung out on drugs right now. They could be out there doing all kind of things that are not pertaining to what Christ would be pleased with. But that does not matter, because when you think about your problem, your situation, what God promised you, He's able to do it, but we have to remain faithful to the promise. So I took this time because I know there are some promises that God has made to me, and I might not see them yet, but I'm not giving up. And I just wanted to encourage you to not give up, to not waver in your faith, to continue to stay strong. And if you can, find someone that you can trust, and you don't have to necessarily tell them exactly what God promised you, but find someone that you can trust that can continue to keep you encouraged. You can encourage them. Living this life with people that can hold you accountable, living this life with people that can pray for you, people that can fast for you, people that can encourage you when you're down. That's how it's supposed to be. Like they say, no man is an island. And in all honesty, that's exactly what the devil loves. He loves to get you out there alone, get you out there where you're all by yourself and you're thinking, oh, I can do this, I don't need nobody. No, you need somebody. Because remember, what did God say in His word? He said that man should not live alone. That's the whole reason He created Eve, because He just felt that Adam shouldn't have been alone. It was better to have that help meet, to have that partner, to have that best friend, to have that person there that was of his own likeness that he can share life with. So don't be discouraged. Encourage yourself. Find scriptures that will back up the promise that God gave you. Find someone that can help you stay on track and stay faithful and stay accountable. And take the time to spend that quiet time with God. Sometimes we try so hard to do so many things in a day, but we don't do the most important thing. I find that my day, no matter what happens in my day, when I start my day out with God and I take that moment, and we don't have to be the super saint. We don't have to, it's not that you have to sit there for like hours on hours. Just 10, 5, 10, 15 minutes. You don't realize taking that moment and showing God that you're giving Him the first part of your day, you just don't realize how much of a blessing that is. Now, one thing I want to leave you to think about. There was this recently, this bombing or explosion in New York, and I saw the interview with this officer. Don't quote me on it. I don't know if he was an officer, like a police officer, or if he was a security guard. He was one or the other. But I remember the guy gave this testimony, and it sent chills down my spine. He talked about, and as he was talking about it, they showed the actual live camera feed from one of the street cameras. He was walking, and he got right to a certain point, and all of a sudden, he just turned around and started walking back the other way. Now, you would think nothing of it, but they paused the video at that point, and he was saying, I was doing my normal routine, and all of a sudden, that still small voice inside of me said, hey, stop, turn around, go back. And he listened. And if you see that video, it will send chills down your spine, because when you see the video, when he turns around and walks away, I promise you, like 5 seconds later, this huge explosion. And if he would have kept walking, he would have been in it. And I'm quite sure that would have been the end for him. So I say that to say, make sure that you don't give up on the promise. Make sure that you do your due diligence to stay on your word, to pray, to fast, but also have that quiet time and quiet moments, because sometimes the delay of God may be saving your life. So I thank you for taking this time to spend this moment with me. I pray that something I said will help you. I pray that it will encourage you. And I pray that your 2025 will be the best year that you've had yet. Just keep the faith. God bless you. Thank you.